Hey, thanks for watching U-View Adventure channel. We plan on showing you as much footage as we can through our travels. We booked a 2-tank dive with a dive shop in the U.S. Virgin Islands. As you can imagine, we were pretty excited about these two dives we were going to get to do. Unfortunately, we did experience some trouble underwater. It was no joke. But as you can probably see in the footage coming up, it was a pretty neat dive nonetheless. Remember that we are not sponsored. Please hit that like and subscribe. Every little bit helps, right? So just so you know, we were both experienced divers. We were in the U.S. Virgin Islands. We chose a local dive company, went out with them, and things were great at first, right? Everybody was pretty pumped up. Everybody said that was diving with us that they were all experienced divers. We did have the owner on board as well as an experienced dive master. Unfortunately, this dive master was not familiar with the area. From what I understood, he was kind of debating on working for this company. So we get out to the first location, and the owner, who was also captaining the boat, the owner of the dive shop, lets us know that this dive master, although not familiar, will be leading the dive. He went over a couple things with the dive master as far as location of the dive, and then he announced that there was someone on board that was quite an elderly man, but he had dove this many times. Matter of fact, everybody on the boat had told us that they had dove this dive before. So we were the only newbies at this location, or either of these locations. Unfortunately, during this dive, we did experience a dive failure. Now, I gotta tell you, it wasn't all the dive shop's fault. Being experienced divers, we also made some errors, and that's normally how it happens. It's never just one mistake that leads to a tragedy. It's normally a few mistakes that led to that tragedy. And yeah, as shameful as it is, we felt it was important to talk about this and show you the video. So just stay tuned. As you can see, most of the footage that we got was pretty incredible underwater world. I personally like a lot of overhead, caverns, shipwrecks, that sort of thing. And so this was my cup of tea. I was enjoying it thoroughly. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe. We are not sponsored, so every time you hit one of those buttons, you help us tremendously, and we want to keep bringing you some content. If we're not getting you what you want to see, please let us know in the comments. We'll do what we can on our end to provide you with that content. Now, at some point, my dive partner, which we keep talking about, there were several mistakes made that led us up to the point that we wanted to bring you this video to show you, where my partner is out of air. I think we were at approximately 50 feet on the second dive, and so we're going to bring you that as much of that footage as we can throughout this video, so just keep watching. The good news is our training kicked in. It's amazing as many dives as we have under our belt that that's never happened to us before. Some other crazy things have happened. People just pulling the regs out of their mouth in a panic. But we personally have never ran out of air together on a dive. So keep watching, see how we handled it. Our training kicked right in. You know, you can't have enough training for this sort of thing. Yes, the more dives you do, the more training you receive by diving. But keep in mind that if you're an open water diver, get that advance and so on. Invest in yourself is what I like to say. By continuing to watch too, you'll hear right when my dive partner, runs out of air. He tries to signal me, and it's very distinct when you hear that. or at least it's very distinct for us. I know when I hear that from my dive partner, he's either trying to show me something or there's an issue or whatever the case may be. There's a way to make noise like what on your tank, etc. Everybody has their own way of doing things. You can see this dive, man, this was an incredible dive. Lots of marine life, healthy reef. I'm not a scientist. It looked pretty healthy to me. And if I hadn't already mentioned it, the conversation on the boat was that all these divers had not only dove this location, but they had dove many times prior to. It was nobody's first dive or even fifth dive, from what I understood. So we felt pretty confident about whom we were diving with. We kind of always like to fall back if we're in a larger group or a group, so that we can kind of enjoy it. You never know who you're diving with. You know, I gotta tell you that in the past we've had been in this situation. People kind of like to fib about their experience level or etc. How many times they've dove. And it's not worth it. Let your fellow divers know the truth about your abilities. It's just not worth it to again, having a great time on this dive. So if you've ever been on a dive with the tour company, most of the time they don't want you to set up your own gear. They set up the gear for you. Now it's still your responsibility to go behind them, right? Including your buddy, and make sure that you both have air in your tanks, everything's a go. And so just remember that for later on in this video. The first tank, we did just that. They set up our gear, wouldn't let us do it, and then we went and checked our own air and checked our buddy's air, and we were good to go on this first dive. Dive master there, you can see he's waiting on us, checking on us. See the waves crashing above. Everybody on the dive seems to be doing great. No real buoyancy issues. See, the dive master is checking one of the divers, taking a look at their air, or at least it appeared that's what he was doing from where I was at. kind of waiting on everybody, asking everybody if they were okay. And remember, this is his first time diving this location. He got a quick recap from the owner of the dive shop, who again was the captain of our boat before we all entered the water. He seemed a bit surprised that this was laid at his feet, I will say that. But again, us being experienced divers, we were still going to move forward with the dive at that time. Man, check out this overhead. So, just a little history. We're from Florida. So, we're used to diving some caverns and springs with caverns. There are caves. I'm not a cave diver. My dive partner is not a cave diver. But the difference is you got an opening, right? So as long as I know I have an opening as a diver, I'm pretty cool with that. Cave, not so much. So if you've never experienced this type of dive, really should give it a shot. Again, it's something I thoroughly enjoy. We were filming this too with a off-brand small underwater camera. We possibly could have had much better footage, but I don't think it did too bad for the price. I think we paid like 80 bucks, 90 bucks for it. Got the housing and lots of extra parts, of course. This was one of the first times we used it, I believe. And at this point, we're still enjoying the dive. Even though there were some mistakes made here by this dive shop, I do want to say that these folks did go above and beyond for us. We were actually coming in on a cruise ship. They no longer offered anything through the cruise ship. However, they drove personally, one of the owners from their dive shop, and come pick us up when we came into dock. They drove us back to the shop, and of course took us back to the cruise ship. As you can see, plenty of bubbles, nobody was on the bottom. Everybody's dive seems to be going well. It's still no reason for alarm. I hope you continue to watch and see what happens on our second tank dive. Again, we're still on our first tank. Things are going well. We're in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So far, so good. But we do experience a failure underwater at about a 50-foot depth. Again, everything's great. Lots to see. Beautiful reefs. Abundant wildlife, marine life. But then it happens. I don't know if you could just hear that, but that was a signal from my dive partner. He's showing me he's out of air, so it's time to act quickly. I hand over my secondary, begin our buddy breathing. Once we realized that we were not going to be able to fix this situation underwater, I'm sorry. You'll notice that the footage may not be as good as it could be. We were in just a little bit of current. We were trying to hook up to continue our buddy breathing. Realized we had to get him to the surface. And again, the camera became secondary to what was actually occurring at the time. Now, at some point during this, gosh, we were almost to the top before the dive master even knew he had a problem. Or that we had a problem. That any of his divers had a situation that needed to be dealt with immediately. Again, we're trying to get him to the surface. We're doing our buddy breathing. Man, just rely on that training. You don't realize how important it is until you need it. Again, apologies for the poor video quality. Again, the camera became secondary to the issue at hand, which was getting my dive partner up to the surface as we continued our buddy breathing. You can see we're trying to get to the top. We're struggling with it just a little bit. But that buddy breathing saved what could have been a horrible situation and turned it into a life's lesson. Now I do continue on once the dive master had my partner. I continued on to the second tank dive. And so you'll see me head back down to continue on with that dive. And I gotta tell you, it didn't get any better from here. Now there's our dive master checking in, making sure that I'm good. I checked my air, let him know. He's now got the diver in question back to the surface. He's headed back down with me. And again, we're going to continue that second tank dive. Now, again, a beautiful dive. Check out that turtle there we got. Camera lens. Kind of cool.